Hi, everyone. Welcome to Gods and Monsters. My name is Art Miles. Greg Moen is not here this evening. He is on assignment. We decided to try a different location tonight because they've got a nice Star Wars display here. You can probably see that on the wide shot. We've got a nice Star Wars display. Todd's going to tell me all about it. He's going to do a sit-down interview with us this evening. He has not done that in quite a long time. This evening, I am drinking the Cider Boys Apple Cinnamon Hard Cider. Oh, I wanted to mention our episode number because we are just climbing in episode numbers. I'm very proud. I hope to hit 100 episodes before we get to the 1-year anniversary of Gods and Monsters, which will be coming up in just a couple of months. Got to say, if you've never been here before and it's almost been a year, what's wrong with you? You live in Orlando, you live in Central Florida, the Artigan Marketplace is here on iDrive. You've got to come by the store and you've got to check it out. All right, I'm going to click on my videos and it's going to tell me what this episode number is. All right, we are currently recording episode number 84. And I'm going to call it Todd Fisher Speaks because it's been a long time since we've talked to him. You know what? He's going to come tell me right now. Am I cutting my head off on this picture right here? Do you see my head?
Your head is hitting right here.
Oh, I am cutting my head off. I'm glad I asked. You want to? Please. Yes. I believe you twist that and then you tip it up. Thank you for doing that. I'll do the same for your shot. Go ahead and have a seat.
Tell me, how am I doing?
You want to sit with us? Oh, I was doing the same thing.
Hell yeah.
You got time to sit? You want to sit with us?
I'll sit.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, sit.
Hell yeah, sit.
Well, this is good. I started the show, and let me just check the headset.
How we doing? Yeah, we good, we good.
Seems good.
Yes.
I can see both of you. Hang on a second.
Much
I just
goodness.
dropped something.
Hey, everybody, it's Jack. Hi, Jack.
Hey.
This is good, actually, because we've never had an opportunity to have Jack sit and
Never? Really?
join us here on the
First
show
time?
because
Wow.
he's always busy, and Friday nights are hard. So why don't you
Damn, son.
properly introduce Jack, your employee, and tell
Hey,
us
everybody.
a little bit about him.
This is Jack. He's one of the newest members of the Gods and Monsters team. He came in about maybe 3 months ago, to spearhead our gaming events to great aplomb. He came in and kind of reshaped what we were doing with the gaming. So he's working out well. We love Jack.
Tell me how you met Jack.
How did I meet Jack? Actually, how did I meet you? You just
Romantic rendezvous.
it was a romantic rendezvous. How did we meet, Jack? Did you just come in? I forget.
Through Mason.
Was it through Mason?
Yeah.
If you guys want, you can lift up your microphone so you don't have to bend
I
over.
will.
There. So you can be much more
Check-
comfortable.
check
Unfortunately,
that
you have to
out.
hold the microphone, but please.
I guess was it? Did I meet you directly through him, or
You met me from me coming in the store.
okay? That's probably that seems more.
I met Anna through Mason.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Yeah, but we thought early on that Jack was with Mason's departure.
Yes.
We needed somebody that I don't know, maybe could breathe some new life into the gaming, and Jack jumped in with both feet, both giant size 22
They are
feet.
rather large.
Correct.
They're very big feet, got us what sanctioned with
Sanctioned with Wizards.
Wizards of the Coast, and
Got
oh
that
man,
going.
I think the hip hop is going.
Holy smokes.
Here comes the hip hop.
man.
There is
Oh,
an
man.
event here going on this evening. I tried to describe it, but I couldn't remember the title of the event you were having here this evening.
I think it's hippity hoppity
Hoopity.
hippity. No, that's probably not right. I think
You can
I think I
hip-hop
just made
and you
that
don't
up.
stop.
That could be it as well.
Huh?
No, I believe it's the Mercury Collective.
Mercury, that was the word I couldn't remember.
The Mercury Collective doing a hip hop networking.
Yes.
Yes, tonight. So,
Okay, and then this is a good place to do that. You go and you come here, you mingle with people, you trade some business
True
cards.
story. Yes. No, they've already got a pretty good turnout. They've got probably 30 people or so over there hanging out, doing their thing, and they just kicked the music up. But I think I think what they're doing is like each of these guys has some tie to the local hip hop community.
Yes.
Whether it's DJs or MCs or whatever, and they bring them in here to show them off for a little bit.
Let them hear their
do a
music.
set. Exactly.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and maybe do some networking while they're here.
So, Jack, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What is it that brought you here to Gods and Monsters? But take us, many years back before that, your love
Speaking of hip hop,
Speaking of hip-hop, let's make that smooth transition and talk to Jack about his hip-hop experiences. No,
Hit it.
Tell us about your experiences with the comic book world, the sci-fi world, and what it was that brought you here.
I have always been a gamer.
Yay.
From very, very early age, I have been playing Magic the Gathering since Man, middle school, alpha beta years of Magic the Gathering, and it's always been a passion of mine. Gaming in general, tabletop gaming, board gaming, various card games. As far as comics go, I was always big into like Spawn, that type of genre of comic.
What's your favorite game of all time?
Favorite?
Do you have a favorite game of any type?
Magic the Gathering.
Just Magic.
Magic the Gathering.
Through and through.
I've made great on Magic the Gathering.
All right. And what on that same on the opposite side of that coin? What is the worst game you know?
Oh, good question.
Worst game you've ever played?
Do I want to put that out in the
Yes.
in the world?
Yes.
My Little Pony, the card game.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
That bad?
It was that bad.
We lost that sponsor.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm sorry, guys.
Lost
all right.
that
I'm
sponsor.
sorry. I would just have to, and it was nothing against the community. The game itself just did not hold my interest.
Fair enough.
The whole game was based around
6-year-old kids.
6-year-old little kids and completing and making people happy.
But Magic holds a place in your heart.
It does, very, very much so.
Nice.
So what were you doing just before you came to Gods and Monsters?
Before I came to Gods and Monsters, I was a manager for another local game shop.
All right.
I handled everything from opening up a new store to just all kinds of manager duties they would have me do. Buying and selling cards.
Sure.
Going to conventions, running conventions.
Feels like you're being interviewed again. Like for
It
the
does.
For the
It does.
job. You've already got the job.
You got the
Jack.
job.
You don't have to
Relax.
oversell
Relax.
it.
You got the job.
You got the job.
But if you could please fill this form out and give me your social. Well, that's good. Have either one of you had the opportunity, jumping forward now, either one of you have, I'm stepping on your headset. No wonder you're crouched over.
I was playing bass on it, actually.
Either one of you had the opportunity to see Batman versus Superman.
I have.
Yeah, I have to, yeah.
And according to the internet, you know, there are problems with it.
What's the internet say?
The internet says, blah.
Yeah.
But you know, earlier this evening here, I was listening to whatever music Mouse was playing, and the original Superman soundtrack came on.
That's right.
It's still today hard to get past Christopher Reeve being Superman.
It's biggest boots in Hollywood, man. Are you kidding me? He's so perfectly embodied everything that Superman was.
Yeah.
For both that generation and I think the generation after that, because you had that generation of parents that were turning their kids on. The only thing I think as good and as stand up was the animated series that
Correct.
came out for a while. That was.
People can separate themselves and say, okay, I know this isn't Christopher Reeve, but I can still enjoy this.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing from people or friends of mine who I work with who say these last two movies, they're just sick of Superman being so emo.
Yeah. I'm actually somebody that actually enjoyed Man of Steel. I'm one of the people that actually liked Man of Steel quite a bit. For its flaws, it was not a perfect film, but I thought he was a really solid Clark.
He had that wholesomeness that
I
look for.
And his abs were rocking. He had the rocking abs.
He sure did.
But I didn't have nearly the problem that a lot of people had. Even with spoiler alert, him killing Zod at the end.
Okay. Superman
what?
Returns. Yes.
Oh, I didn't even have an issue with that so much. But I don't know,
the new film. Yes.
The new film, it seems like they really doubled down on the darker side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Batman's in it and all that, but it just didn't. I don't know. It didn't feel right. And I was on board with Affleck for Bruce.
By the way,
from
not
start.
a problem in this movie.
I'm
I'm fine with it, and I'm
I
not
thought he
hearing.
was great, and I thought
I'm not hearing a lot of people online saying, "Oh, Ben Affleck is."
Yeah.
I mean, we did for the past 2
yeah,
years.
it's Daredevil all over. It's
But
not.
you know what?
Affleck, man.
He did a good job.
He was really
He
good.
never had the opportunity to overact. The director used him sparingly, it seems
Yeah.
like. And you know what? He did a good job. He is not the problem.
But I think that there was, if this were just a Batman movie, I think that the tone was set well. I think it was a much better, like the early stuff with him, and for those of you who haven't seen it, maybe do the la 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 thing right now. But the early stuff with him in Metropolis, like during You
Yes.
know, like the stuff that sets up his conflict with Cal.
Yes.
And his conflict with the alien menace or whatever. That stuff I think played really well, and I was totally in. I think if this had just been a Batman movie, I think I could have bought the dour tone of it a little bit more.
Okay.
But when
I'm on
you've
board
got
with that.
When you bring Superman into the
but
mix.
when you've got Superman and Wonder Woman into the mix, they are by their nature a much lighter tone, like or are supposed to be. Superman, I think, is supposed to be this diametrically opposed, like color scheme, if you will, to
Okay.
Batman's black.
Correct.
He's these bright colors, and it seemed like he was almost more tortured than Bruce.
More torture than Bruce, right.
And I mean, there were things about the movie that I loved.
My parents are dead. Well, my parents are dead too.
I think that the main disappointment for me in this, and because I can watch the movie and have fun with it,
Sure.
it's not a terrible film by
Of course.
any means.
Looked beautiful.
And I mean, Zack Snyder can set up a shot.
Sure.
He's great with composition. I think that maybe takes it a little too seriously. Like I don't remember a single joke.
No
in the
joke
whole,
or laughter
like,
at all.
No fun in this universe at all.
Is she with you? I thought she was with you.
Did you see that was about as close
That
as
was
we got.
about, and we
Or-
saw that in the
or
trailer.
some of,
and it seems strange that he even said that because he had been working with
Yeah.
Wonder Woman earlier in the
or
movie.
some of Alfred's snark.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
that was about as close to levity as we got in the
But you're right.
film.
There's not a lot of joy.
Not
in
a lot
the
of
film.
joy in the film. And I'm hoping, and I know that he's set up to do Justice League as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that he maybe learns from his lessons in this that that people are kind of taking him to task for, and maybe lightens the mood a little bit. Because I think the stuff that I got the most out of, like my favorite bit in it, again, spoiler alert, guys.
It's been a few weeks. It's been a few weeks.
It's been a few weeks. I loved the, as dark as it was, that pseudo future dream sequence thing.
Yes.
The
All right.
nightmare, if you will.
Yes.
But what I loved was how that wrapped up with the Flash coming through the portal, and
Yes.
because it was so out of left field, it's barely addressed for the rest of the film.
No, not
And
explained
it's-
or addressed.
And it's just like it seemed like something totally out of a comic book. I was like, wow, holy shit, that's the Flash. Holy
Yeah.
crap. And like the whole oh my god, I'm too soon. And I'm just like, what's going on? It's amazing.
No
and then it's
explanation
gone. It's
given.
done, and that's it. And I thought that was the stuff that was like the thing that affected me. That and I love the 1940s picture of Wonder Woman with Chris Pine
Just sitting there.
just sitting
yes.
there. I was like, oh my god, it's totally Captain Kirk. That's amazing. Steve Trevor, yay.
Yeah, we got that brief 4 minutes of the film where it's like, all right, audience, we're going to set up the next 6 movies.
Yeah,
Here we
that's
go.
right.
And we're going to scroll through this laptop. And Luther found the time to make the logos for all of
I
the,
know,
he
it's-
found WW. Oh, I guess that's the Wonder Woman logo. He's just decided.
yeah.
And the Flash and Cyborg. And
That's
what
funny.
was
He's
the
got
fourth
he's
one?
got a whole
Aquaman.
got a whole art design team on that.
Right.
I wonder if he will take them to task for copyright infringement if they start using them. I was disappointed with the Momoa cameo. I thought it looked like it was filmed in a somebody's pool. I thought it looked silly. The Flash thing was cute for what it was. I thought that the Cyborg thing, since we got more than 5 seconds with them, I thought that was the one that worked the best out of those.
It appears that in the scene we saw with Aquaman that he had looked like he had killed James Cameron in his little submarine as he was looking into the Titanic or something.
That's right.
And what was it? Cyborg,
Cyborg.
Aquaman, Flash,
Yeah,
Wonder
Wonder
Woman
Woman.
that we saw. So Luther's computer anyway, Batman or
Now
Bruce
let me
Wayne
talk
set up
about
everything.
Luther.
Oh
Please.
man.
What is Luther's motivation for any of this?
The thing with Luther for me in this was I didn't mind him in the first act. I was like, he was a little manic.
Right.
He was kind of skittish.
Yep.
Whenever he was doing a speech, he would kind of go on a tangent, and I could totally get behind that. By the end of it, and they don't. My theory on it is that because of the Kryptonian knowledge, like he says, teach me, and to me that says that that the ship forced the knowledge onto him,
Right.
gave him all this infinite knowledge, but they don't really tell you that. So in that last scene with him acting like a complete idiot in the cell,
prison, yeah.
it was. I was just like, oh God, he's really doing that. Like he keeps.
He started going Joker crazy.
He went weird. Now for somebody for people like us, it's it's Hackman, and it's for me it's Clancy Brown. I think Clancy Brown, even more than Hackman, personifies Luther to me, because it's the serious, late '80s, early '90s businessman that they that the old John Byrne Man of Steel popularized, like him as corporate douchebag. Nobody does that like Clancy Brown. I was kind of sad that I was actually in the cast Clancy Brown as Lex, but then I heard that Zach actually met with Heisenberg. What's
Bryan Cranston?
Yeah, Bryan Cranston for it, and everybody really wanted Cranston.
We know he can play evil.
Oh man, I think he would have been a fantastic.
It would have been a different tone. It wouldn't have been have been the silly.
He would
Jesse
never have
Eisenberg.
played it like that. Never.
Jesse Eisenberg. I always thought, as soon as they announced the casting, I thought too young.
Yeah.
He's just.
Yeah.
It's a miscast because he's too young. He's a great actor. We know he's a great actor.
Yeah.
We saw him in The Social Network. We've seen him in the Zombieland, and he's a great actor.
There's no reason for a performance like that.
Right.
I don't understand the motivation behind it. It came across like somebody who had only maybe seen the Hackman one on the side and kind of, or maybe he saw like Superman 3 and said, "Oh, this is the definitive Lex Luthor that I'm watching."
So, Jack? Did you see the movie here at the Art again, or did you see it at a theater in town? What were your thoughts?
I saw it in town in Lake Mary.
Yep. I did too. Actually, I saw it at the Lake Mary Amstar.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. I went into it not expecting a lot.
I did the same thing, and I came out like you. I think it was okay.
Because by the time I saw it, it had already been out for a week.
Okay.
And I'd already, Facebook.
Everyone already 150 million.
Everyone already said like, oh, it's so bad, blah blah blah. So I just went in, not expecting anything, and I was fine.
Yeah.
I came out. I was like,
I'm not angry about it.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I'm not sad. I don't
think
it.
I'll see it again
Right.
until it comes out on cable or
I'd be interested in the R cut that they're talking about for Blu-ray.
Yeah.
There's apparently a longer cut. I'm hoping that, and I saw a cut scene.
There's some scene with Luther explaining some of his.
Yeah,
Do we get more bathtub scenes?
What it is it's Luther in the ship. With his science setup and everything.
Okay.
And soldiers coming in.
Okay.
And they come to a ledge that overlooks another area of the ship, and down in that area is what the internet thinks is Steppenwolf, who is a lieutenant of, for those of you who don't know, is a lieutenant of Darkseid. And this version of him he looks kind of like a 10-foot gray demon looking thing, but he's holding two mother boxes, the boxes that Cyborg's father is marveling over, and that
right,
undulating,
the box that was changing,
that thing,
which seems like I saw something just like that on either Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Agent Carter this season.
It's the CGI effect of the week.
Yeah.
But he's holding two of them, and both the boxes and he dissipate, and that's really the scene. But I guess it was a little bit more of but they don't tell you what it is or anything. But it's more of a tie-in to the idea that Darkseid is coming. The thing that Flash is trying to really warn them against.
Right.
And the thing that the Nightmare sequence sets up with the giant Omega symbol and the parademons coming out of the sky and all that. That all stinks of Darkseid, and it only makes sense.
So perhaps the R-rated cut will give us a little something.
Maybe a little bit more.
I'm curious now. Let's say this movie comes out on HBO, Showtime, whatever. What version do we get? Do we get the R-rated version, or is it the one that was in theaters? This is kind of a new thing now, thanks to Deadpool, where it's like, we're going to start making R-rated versions of these movies.
I would imagine wide release will be the theatrical cut. I would think.
I hope so.
The Blu-ray will kind of stand on its own as probably just a money grab.
Yeah.
It's a money grab. But
see, I don't know if I'd buy the Blu-ray for this. I enjoyed it, but it was okay, but I don't know if
I
would.
would probably only have it as a completist.
I want to see the movie one more time just before the next one comes out.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is kind of what I did for Man of Steel. It happened to be on cable not too long ago. I was like, you know what? I should refresh my memory.
Interesting play by Warner Brothers right after the week after this. where Suicide Squad is getting recut.
I saw that.
They're
adding
recutting
scenes,
it for
recutting it so the Joker has
for a lighter tone and
Yes.
more jokes and.
because there weren't any in this movie.
Well, and everybody's saying, oh, they want it to be more like Guardians. And I'm like, well, it was kind of like Guardians to be. This was kind of their Guardians movie to begin with. I think it's a direct result of the fan backlash on this film. I don't think it has anything to do with the other thing.
I haven't heard whether or not the budget for Suicide Squad is equal to the Superman Batman's
I can't
budget.
imagine that it is. I
Because-
can't imagine that it's equal to that because
They've got a bigger cast, perhaps.
I heard stupid
Have
amounts of
bigger
money.
names.
Yeah.
But there's the reshoots now and the promotion for it.
Sure.
There's so much money for it.
Well, they're putting so much. I don't know. They're banking so much on these things, and they're only okay.
What a nightmare it must be to
And that's-
direct these films now with the studio breathing down your neck.
No,
every
dude,
minute.
right? You know, and like we were saying before, Zach is a skilled filmmaker.
Sure.
300 is very well
Oh,
put together.
yes.
It's a great movie. Sucker Punch is a nightmare. It's terrible, but it looks pretty. I mean, you can look at still frames from
It's
that, and it's like
aesthetically pleasing.
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful looking movie. But
What a
man,
kind, what a kind review on the Sucker
what a-
Punch poster.
what a-
It's aesthetically pleasing.
It's aesthetically pleasing, but what a terrible film! Like it just is—it's awful. You know, and then I had forgotten. I had to look up on IMDb whether or not he did Man of Steel, and he did. I had forgotten, and I was like, because they feel like two totally separate movies and directors, and I don't know, man. I don't think he's I respect him as an artist. I respect his work for what it is, but I don't think he's the guy to be spearheading your universe.
and the universe is just kind of taking off.
Yeah.
So, but then their response will be, well, look how much money we're making. We must have done something right. That's
Well-
probably just the curiosity factor. Everybody's going to go see it, but the repeat business will not exist.
Yeah, Joss Whedon, he is not.
Yes.
So
Deadpool, incredible repeat
Fun.
business, I think,
That
because
was a
it was
fun
just
movie,
joke,
right?
joke, 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 joke. Where it's like
Yeah.
I could see this movie a second time and hear a whole different set of jokes that I
That's
didn't
right.
hear before. I don't think there's going to be any repeat business on this movie, so it's going to struggle to get up to $1 billion, which apparently it needs to make.
oh sure,
to turn a
everybody's
profit.
saying, oh, it's on point to make $1 billion, and I'm like, how?
No, it's just
How
getting
is that even a
500 million
thing?
now globally,
Yeah.
and it's going to struggle to get to $1 billion. I don't know how that's going to happen,
Yeah.
unless they want to put the R-rated version in theaters in 2 weeks.
Well, and they're already viewing it as a success. So
They have to.
we're in no danger of this being the last
Right, it's
movie
the
of
end,
its
right.
kind. If anything, we will get more chances for them to get it right. I don't care about Suicide Squad.
Really?
I really don't. I don't give a damn about it. I am very interested to see Leto's Joker
Right.
because I love
Yeah.
him.
I bet a lot of people are going to see it just for that reason. Who
I
aren't
would-
I heard
invested
he
in
lost
Suicide
himself
Squad.
on that role. He said I heard he lost himself
Yeah.
in that role.
Oh, the Joker tends to do that with just about everybody who plays it. Actually,
Right.
Jack Nicholson is. There was a story where he warned Heath Ledger
Yeah.
about letting that particular character take hold of you.
He didn't get to him soon enough.
He did not get to it soon enough. But yeah, I've always been a fan of Leto's work. I thought it was really interesting casting.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely more worried about the Will Smith thing. The Will Smith thing is kind of out of the blue. for me.
They barely touch on him in any of these trailers we've seen.
Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, there's been 2 trailers, and he's got like one little funny line or 2 in the trailer, but
Sure.
you're not seeing a lot of his character. So are they purposely hiding it because he doesn't have a lot
Welcome
there?
to Earth.
Yes.
Not. By the way,
He's not going to be in the movie.
I was going to
Independence
say,
Day,
not in number 2.
Was that a scheduling thing because of Suicide Squad, or
I
he
don't
he
know.
just backed away from
But
it?
I think they killed him off. I think his character. I think his character
really?
is like on the website. I think it's a viral website that they did.
survives the alien invasion, and then
And I think he dies test piloting, like Hal Jordaning out there. Like I
okay,
think he's
okay.
test piloting a plane and dies. Oh, you know what it is? I think he was test piloting
One
a
of those
hybrid,
spaceships.
a hybrid ship that was a hybrid between our tech and theirs,
Yeah.
and dies, allegedly.
So
Yeah. Welcome
that's,
to Earth.
I don't even know who's directing that movie. Do you know? Independence Day?
I don't think it's the same people.
No. All I know is that Jeff Goldblum's in the trailer. So
I I really don't like that movie. The original.
You know what? I saw it in the theater.
I've never been a fan of the film.
And, if you were to watch it now, upon further reflection,
I could
Randy
probably
Quaid,
get
everything
stoned
Randy
and
Quaid
watch it
did
and really get a lot out of it. But
Randy Quaid's character annoyed the hell out of me. It's just,
right? It's like
his
everybody
dialogue
was just there was stuff to. I always find things. I always try to dig the positive out of these things.
Me too. I'm the same.
There's
way
a lot
you
of
are.
effects and stuff that were fun and were certainly cool at the time, but everybody was playing up to camp, Everybody like Brent Spiner was in it, and everybody was just acting silly, and it's just like, I don't think I'd be acting silly under these circumstances, guys.
The world isn't being invaded.
Right, exactly. Everybody that you have ever known is dying.
Right.
They will be dead soon.
Except for the dog. He outran the explosion. He's fine.
That is one
That
quick
dog jump. Oh, my God.
So, once again, to look back, I hear the original John Williams score here in your store, and it's like it's still so hard.
Proud to play that.
It's still so hard to get Christopher Reeve out of your mind.
Man, I know, right? Like, and it's so synonymous, kind of with heroism in our age. Like if you hear that, it's just like it's such a driving
I know.
theme.
What were your thoughts of Superman Returns?
Superman Returns.
I stayed away from all trailers and knew nothing about it. So when the movie began and they played the original opening credits with the music, it got me. It was
man.
It was a big deal because he had been gone for some time. His wife had passed recently before the movie came out.
Yeah.
And so the Reeve family is in your mind. And then the opening credit starts out and you hear the dun dun dun. Dun,
dude.
And it gets me.
Oh,
it really
dude.
gets me. And the fact that they did that, it was a true sequel.
I was so ready to love that movie.
Yeah. But then it became about real estate.
Well, it's
Luther and his obsession with real estate.
Right. And now, again, this movie has some fantastic things going for it. Brandon Routh practically channeling.
I know. He did his very best.
He was doing really well with him too. Like he was Christopher Reeve in that
everything
movie, man.
he was supposed to do, and unfortunately, he's the one that gets I guess I want to say he's the one who gets blamed because what's his career like today?
Yeah.
He's kind of like, oh well, no, we don't want this guy. He's
Well, he's now he's
franchise
the
killer.
Atom.
Yeah, now he's the Atom, and he's done that, and he's been successful at that, hasn't he? But it's just like. I have nothing against him. I think he did a great job under the circumstances of trying to erase.
And again,
Christopher
great
Reeve from our
scenes.
mind.
That airplane rescue scene
Yes,
is fantastic.
yes.
Super awesome in IMAX, by the way. That thing was crazy
I
and
did
loud.
see that in IMAX.
I thought that the biggest hurdle with that movie for me is getting around the child narrative, like working. I get it that they're working within that kind of established universe, but if this was indeed not a final chapter, but a possible continuation of the franchise, you can't really paint yourself narratively into a corner with a kid, because every single movie you'll have to address that kid somehow, and you can't really. I don't know. It seemed like an odd choice for them to do. I thought she was a decent Lois.
Mm-hmm. She seemed a little young for me also, but
who was that? Kate Bosworth?
Blanchett? Kate? No, you're right.
Yeah.
Kate Bosworth.
Kate Bosworth. Yeah. And then what's his name from X-Men was in it. Cyclops was in it. James Marsders or Marsden or Marsders. Marsders is Spike. Marsders is Spike, and
right.
Marsden is
right.
Cyclops. Marsden was in it. Kevin Spacey, fantastic Lex Luthor, I thought.
He's great. It's just the story.
It just kind of meandered around that, like the weird. What do you call it? Not adoptive, but creepy dad stuff, like him hanging out outside the kid's window and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That could have played either way. It played distinctly to the creep factor. Like all that stuff just didn't play well for me. Like the action and stuff was great. The machine gun on him.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff looked fantastic, of course. But I don't know, man. Narratively, it just didn't catch me. The last act, a lot of people hate him taking the island up into space and letting it go, with all the... what I hated was him falling to Earth and the last 20 minutes being about human beings getting him to the hospital. That was weird to me.
That was weird, yeah.
Like editorially, it was just a strange choice, and it dragged what could have been a triumphant moment into like this miasma of, you know what I mean?
They're trying to put needles in him, and
I
it's
know.
like you already knew none of this was going to work. You have
But it
bullets.
took forever. Like
Yeah.
that last quarter of the movie took forever to get through after the island. And I don't know.
So for critics and for most people, that's 3 Superman movies in a row now that are just not getting well received.
yeah, it's too bad.
Do you
Oh, by
have-
the way,
do you have any? Go ahead. What are you
drinking
drinking? this evening?
drinking the Seagram's Escape
I tried to get the orange.
Peach Fuzzy Navel.
I tried to get
Yeah,
the orange
you
drink
are.
you like, but we're all out right now.
Which one?
The orange one you like?
Are we out of Orange
Dream. We're out of Orange Dream.
Sprecker's Orange Dream.
Yeah.
It is delicious.
It is delish. It's very tasty. It tastes like children's aspirin.
So, Jack, do you have any memories of Superman Returns? Did you see that in the theater? I imagine everybody saw it in the theater.
I
I
did.
saw it in IMAX like you did. I saw it at the IMAX theater here, where we saw Star Wars.
That's it.
I did see Superman Returns in the theater. I thought it was great. I thought it was a good movie. I liked it.
It was from. I wanted to love it, and I did for the those opening credits. It already got me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just. You hear that music and you think that there's your childhood you're listening to, and those credits come. They didn't even update the credits. It's just like, let's do that cheesy 70 credits thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think just like Todd said, he did a really good job trying to be Reed. He looked like him. He
Yep.
sounded like. I mean,
Yep.
everything. Like that was a young version.
Sure.
There's a lot of pressure on the director also because this is a sequel.
That was Singer,
This
right?
is
That was Bryan
Bryan
Singer.
Singer. You are doing a sequel. The Richard Pryor thing didn't happen, and you are doing a sequel. And there's a lot for him to live up to. And
I gave Ralph a hard time about the outfit and all that. Said that he was too small, and he was actually pound for pound he was exactly
too small.
They said they were saying that he was too small. Like I guess those early shots of him in the suit, I guess they weren't very muscularly flattering. But he was the same physical weight as Christopher was when he did the thing.
So
yeah.
they were saying, was he too bony? Or,
I guess.
God, remember those Nicolas Cage
Maybe
pictures
he just
when
doesn't.
they came out?
He didn't maybe wear the weight the same way as Chris
okay.
did.
Okay. So that's Batman versus Superman. Go
I was
ahead.
going to say there's a great deleted scene from Returns on the Blu-ray if you've never seen it.
Oh no, I have not seen the
It
deleted
is
scene.
it's pre-credits. It's pre-opening credits.
Okay.
And it's really cool. It's the ship that he comes back to Earth in. It's him. It's Cal in the ruins of Krypton, like this like asteroid field, like this. Frankly, a kryptonite asteroid field.
Okay.
And it's him in this Kryptonian ship that I guess the Fortress of Solitude provided him.
Okay.
When he left Earth, if you'll recall in the movie, he's going to search for Krypton.
Right, which took a couple of years.
And he goes out there and it's these awesome scenes of him in this spacecraft with giant floodlights like
I haven't seen that scene either.
it's really cool. But he comes across a big chunk and he floats by and it's this huge Superman, the S symbol, like the sigil of the House of El.
Wow.
And it's this really kind of moving thing. But then he leaves and he makes his way back home. And
So they didn't even use that as a flashback. I guess they couldn't find a place for it in the film.
I think
understand.
because it plays a little long. It's about a 5-minute pre-credit thing. But it's
I'll have to find that.
It's cool by itself. Like if you just watch it by itself, it's kind of
Uh-huh.
moving.
Again, though, like you, I don't hate on that movie. I don't really try and hate on any movies. I always try to find the good in
Yeah.
all movies. But it just, with audiences and critics, it just didn't take off. Just the way Batman versus Superman is going right now.
Yeah.
But it's not going to stop that franchise. That's
Wonder
for
Woman
sure.
sure was foreign in this.
Yeah.
Like, she was very, very foreign in this. And I get it. She's supposed to be
Right.
Greek, right?
Right.
And I think the actress playing her is Israeli.
Okay.
I think.
So-
Right? She's supposed to be Greek, right?
Yes.
Or Themysciran.
Yes.
But derived from Greek,
Mythology.
yeah, or whatever. Yeah, whatever.
She's no Linda Carter. is what you're saying.
She's right.
Right.
Well, everything that we've seen so far, whether it was the animated version or Linda Carter or whatever, has been distinctly, I don't know, Anglo,
Right.
if you will.
White.
No, white. This was an odd choice because I thought she looked great. I thought she looked fantastic. Everybody was saying earlier on that she was, again, way too small.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I've always pictured Diana as, like, 8 foot,
Right,
like
when you say
Amazonian.
the word Amazon, yeah, you expect her.
Well, I picture her like Alex Ross drew her, like this just muscle,
Yep.
this muscle and tights,
But they still wanted her to be cute, and it can't be too muscular.
And she was
strapless dress.
beautiful, and I love that she was smirking during all the
During
fighting
the fight
scenes.
scenes,
That
yeah,
was
like
great.
She was enjoying this.
And but I don't know. It kept taking like her voice kept taking me out of it for some reason. I don't know. It was just
interesting.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah,
I don't know, kind of distracting for me.
So the summer has not begun yet, but we've gotten the first big, what would be considered summer blockbuster of the year. I'm curious as to why it came out when it did. Did they not want to be involved with any summer blockbusters?
I guess I never even really noticed because it came out. When did it come out? It came
February.
out. Really?
What big movies come out in February? No. March. It was
Well,
March. I'm
what's-
sorry. Second week of
like
March.
2 weeks ago.
Well,
Yeah.
what are we gearing up towards here
For the next movie?
for their summer? For what are their summer releases? Do they have Suicide Squad, right?
Suicide Squad. Maybe that's what it is. They just wanted to keep the distance
guess.
between the two films and give them a chance to reshoot if they needed to. And guess
guess.
what? They're reshooting. They're doing some
Yeah.
reshoots on that.
I wonder
All
if
right.
they're still going to make their window for release.
Yeah, they're going to push back. I don't know. That's a good question.
that could
because
be.
They want to make sure they get it right, so they do a little pushback. So you may notice on this camera anyway, we've got a nice display of Star Wars behind
yeah,
us
look
now.
at
I
that.
saw someone put up photos recently on the Gods and Monsters page that you've revamped your Star Wars section.
I did.
And you've got a great. I love seeing all the characters nicely uniformed up on the
Yeah.
wall. It really stands out when you see it from a distance too.
Right on.
And it goes all the way to the other wall. And it's all Star Wars until you hit that little corner
Oh,
there, and
what's
damned if
going
I don't
on
see
over
that
there?
Flash Gordon pinball machine.
Dude,
You were telling me a little bit about it. Tell us about how you got that here into the store.
Well, a buddy of ours brought it up to me the other day. Like, noticed that we had some other pinball selections in the
Yes.
back there. Currently, I think we're doing, what is that? The
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park and Comet. I
Comet.
think are our two pinballs.
Yes.
But they know that I'm a big pinball nut. I
Yes.
love pinball. And on top of that, they know I'm a big Flash Gordon nut. I love old sci-fi, and I love that old Flash Gordon movie. But he said, and I had been, I don't know if you remember this, Art. I had been trying to track down a Flash Gordon pinball machine since early on in this project.
Really? No, I did not know.
I had gone through 3 different people leading up to this, including the guys that hooked me up with the ones that I currently have. And had been trying to get, and everybody had an excuse, like, oh, yeah, I've got access to one, but it needs repair.
I didn't even know they existed.
I didn't know
Yeah,
you were
man.
such a pinball lover.
I love pinball. I'm particularly like video pinball. Like, I love video game pinball. I always have. But this was one of the ones that I was actively seeking out. Like, if I was going to have a pinball machine in here.
Right. What a perfect blend of
I-
your childhood, because pinball is very popular in the 70s, early 80s, and
Sure.
that's
Yeah.
Flash Gordon right there.
I know,
that's
man.
just that early 80s
but,
childhood
But
memories.
how could I not? We decided to do a split on revenue on it, and so it gets to get played. People
Right.
get it seems to
25 cents to play, in case
It's
you're
only
wondering.
a quarter a play, man.
Yep.
And it's a tough play. It's not a
21st century fun at 1980s prices.
That's right.
25 cents.
That's it, baby. But same guy has said that if the Flash Gordon one works out, he's bringing me a Buck Rogers in the 25th century
Oh,
one. Yeah.
outstanding. Is that going to have like Gil Gerard?
It will have
and
Gil
Aaron
Gerard.
Gray?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Front
that's
it's a tweaky probably.
Oh,
It'll probably do bitty bitty bitty
Pull
bitty.
the thing, bitty, bitty, bitty.
Oh, man, it's
that'd
gonna be so good.
So great.
Yeah.
Anything else new in the store in the
What else?
past few weeks? Anything standing?
We
standing out?
started hosting some of the product from a group of artists locally called
Tilted Tombstone
Til-
Studios.
Tilted Tombstone
Oh, okay.
Studios.
Tell us about them.
They do. They actually do a lot with conventions. They have a pretty good presence with conventions. I'd love to get them in here to talk to you because
Please.
they have a current project which I'm really fascinated with. They're opening a video game themed it's like a Hooters style restaurant.
Okay.
But all like 80s video game themed. So
Excellent.
like Q*bert and all that
Excellent.
stuff. That's called joysticks, which I thought was very, very clever. But it was funny because I was following joysticks separately from them. I had no idea that they were involved, and
them.
it just so happened that they were the guys behind joysticks.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, holy crap, you guys! I've been following you guys for a year. That's amazing. But one of the main guys with that project is he does prop replicas and all this fabrication stuff.
Perfect.
And so he came in the other day and was interested in bringing some of his stuff, and we were just like, yeah, what do you got? And he's like, well, I got like a life-size Slimer, and I've got all this, I've got
excellent.
vampire hunting kits, these really intricately built
those are so
vampire.
awesome.
Yeah, they're so cool. But like Bubo the Owl from Clash of the Titans, and the fertility idols and all these. He does these really awesome from the newer version of the movie Trick or Treat. He does Sam's Lollipop. He does these big lollipops.
I haven't thought about Trick or Treat in a long time.
Yeah. Now Trick or Treat, not the Trick or Treat that I love. There's the Trick or Treat that came out in the last couple of years with Sam, the little kid. But there's a 1986 movie called Trick or Treat that I'm very, very fond of. With Sammy Kerr.
VHS treasure.
I love that movie so much, and it doesn't get the love it deserves. Horns high for Sammy Kerr.
Well, we're getting close to the end. I want to see just a little bit of Jack. I want you to let us know a little bit about what's coming here in the near future.
What's coming up with gaming, Jack?
Yes. What's coming up with gaming? We got a lot of things coming up with gaming. More D&D. We're going to see a lot more D&D.
We got 8 new players tonight, right?
Just tonight, yeah. We got 8 new players. I have a huge adventure league that's coming in soon to get ran.
These will be weekly events?
They are. We host D&D every Saturday.
Right.
But you're always welcome to come in anytime.
Right. There's a Friday night. There's a group up in the front
they're playing
corner
right
of the
now.
store. Yep, they're playing right now.
So we always welcome people to come in anytime that they have free time to come in and play.
That's right.
I mean, we have the space for it, so why not?
We have nothing if not room.
That's right. More Magic. Lots more Magic.
Gathering, yep.
How are we doing with our levels? How are we doing with that?
We're doing great.
Are we?
We're actually doing great. We're core level 2.
Core level 2, suddenly.
Tell the kids at home, what does core level 2 mean?
What that does is that opens up the store for special tournaments like Pro Tour qualifiers, PBTQs, special events like Friday Night Magic, where you get promotional cards to give out to the players that are in the top 8, et cetera, et cetera. But it gives the store more incentive for the players to come here.
Okay. Can the two of you kind of give us a little taste of what we can expect for the first anniversary coming up at Gods and Monsters?
That's coming right up, isn't
Anna
it?
said you guys are kind of sold out when it comes to having vendors here.
We're pretty close, right?
Yeah, that's great news.
I'd imagine that we'll, and we're also close to Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, which you didn't get to be a part of last year because you were under construction.
That's true.
This will be Gods and Monsters' first Free Comic Book Day.
See.
So excited for that.
Free Comic Book Day is coming up first Saturday in May, as usual. This is the 15th year that Free Comic Book Day has happened.
Great.
Looking forward to that. We'll have, again, thousands of comics to give out, limited few per person, but bring the family, bring your friends, and then you guys can get different ones and share.
Great time to introduce the kids to the comics.
It's true, yeah. Or as an adult, maybe get a book for free that you wouldn't necessarily want to spend $3 or $4 on. You know what I mean?
Right. Good thought.
So open yourself up to a new book too.
Yeah, I also heard for Free Comic Book Day there might be some special guests, like Harley Quinn might be here.
Sure. Oh yeah, we'll definitely have a lot of people in costume.
I heard Harley Quinn. I heard Baymax may make a appearance.
there may be a Baymax here.
And I imagine we'll see some costumes here for the first anniversary as well.
That's true. Yeah, definitely. We're looking into talent to bring in for signings and stuff. But obviously we'll be doing a big in-store sale and probably sales and giveaways leading up to that day. Surely.
I imagine as we get closer to the date, we'll do a little more reflecting back on this past year and what it's been like for you.
That'll be fun
because it's in some ways it seems like God, it was just yesterday, but then in other days it seems like it feels like a full year, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's it's just as a precursor to those discussions. It's been a I tell people it's been a weird year.
Oh yeah,
it's been a lot more difficult than we anticipated, especially on Anna, my co-owner. She takes the brunt of a lot of the legal, financial responsibilities here. She pays the bills and juggles a lot, and with
you are running a business.
I know, man.
It sounds like toys and fun and arcades and comic books, but it's a business.
But all that said, as hard as it is and as challenging as it has been, I think we're getting it squared away with a pretty good crew. Good. Like our crew is rounding that corner where we've really got.
It takes some time to assemble a crew.
Quality more than quantity now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? We're finding the people that are really, really good at their jobs and are interested in helping the store stay afloat. are helping us gain some degree of notoriety.
Look at this.
Like
yes,
Jack.
Yes.
Jack is. I give Jack all the credit, man. The gaming has really panned out since he came on board. So
And in my opinion, the biggest and best thing that's changed since you've opened, of course, is the Off-World Lounge has a liquor license.
we do. We have a
Beer and wine.
Yeah, full beer and wine license. And while we're not looking to, this is kind of cool. While we're not looking to get into the liquor business anytime soon,
the wine.
we have started. I think I mentioned this maybe the last time I spoke to you guys very, very briefly.
You came in and then dropped the mic.
I dropped the mic and ran away. We have started with the wine-based liquors, like the wine-based vodkas and tequilas
That's
and all
great.
that.
Which
And
are surprisingly very good.
they're very good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
And the bartenders are hard at work coming up with themed drinks.
Good.
And,
Try our
and
portal
shots.
shot.
Yeah, the portal
Portal shot.
shots. Yeah, they're
If you're ever near the Off-World Lounge, come say hi to Sarah, say hi to Jen. Once in a while, say
That's
hi to Mouse. They're back there behind the bar. They
That's
are serving you, and they're introducing you to new things every time.
experimenting with your tummy.
Well, we hope the next time that we do a show next week and the next few weeks after, we'll talk more about the anniversary show.
Sure.
I know there's something big you'd love to talk about, but you're still waiting for a phone call or two from somebody about some big thing you would like to accomplish here over a 3 or 4 day period, but we can't talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We're trying.
We're trying that. That's big news, but we can't talk about that. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
So, of course, we want people to visit the Facebook page, as always, Gods and Monsters. Jack, where else should we be visiting?
Basically the Facebook page and also godsmonsters.com.
Right. Godmonsters.com.
Godmonsters.
God singular.
Monsters plural.
Monstersplural.com. Always visit there for things that you can purchase online. I imagine it's still like that there. So what we'll do, Greg Moan is off on assignment. He'll be back next week to tell us about what he's been doing.
Is it
Todd,
for us?
it's great to have Todd, and we've almost hit the 1 hour mark.
Is he on assignment for
No,
us?
I just like to say that.
Oh man.
He's actually off at some festival, a film festival.
Is it Spooky Empire for us?
I don't think it is, but he can tell us more about that next week.
God damn it, Greg.
He's working on something. You can also check out Greg. He's revamping his Mazda Miata, and he's had some fun with that. He had a tire fall off on him on the road
no.
because he didn't tighten it down enough. He's got good stories to tell us. Yes, yes.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
But there's a lot happening here at Gods and Monsters.
There
Soon
is.
to be the 1 year anniversary, and
That's
boy,
right.
it's going to be busy here for that, just
That's
like it
gonna be
was at
crazy,
the opening.
yeah.
Super fun.
We will reflect back on that ribbon cutting and relook through the whole year again in upcoming episodes.
True story.
Well, thank you for both visiting with us. It's been
Thanks,
a while,
Art.
and Jack, it's good to finally sit down
Yeah,
with
man.
you. Thanks for listening and watching to Gods and Monsters. We will see you again next week. Bye.
Yay.